This story is about Misumi, a 25-year-old woman from Taiwan who worked as a receptionist at the Mandarin Oriental in Taipei. One night after a particularly long shift, she left work much later than usual. As always, she made her way to the Nanjing Fuxing station to catch the train home. It was 11 p.m. and the display screen showed the name and number of the train, indicating it was the last one of the day. Standing on the platform, Misumi realized she was completely alone, which was strange because the station was usually busy even at this hour. Finally, the train arrived, but it was empty, except for one woman sitting across the carriage. The woman had her head down and didn't respond to anything, as if she was sleeping. Ignoring the woman, Misumi settled into a seat. The train started moving, stopping at its usual stations. Her stop was the last one, 14 stations away. Tired from her long day, Misumi put on her headphones and decided to rest her eyes while she listened to some soothing music to relax. She soon fell asleep. As Misumi wakes up, she looks outside and sees the train emerging from a bridge, beneath which flows a river. The area is surrounded by trees and dense forest. She realizes there's no such path on the way to her stop. Confused, she checks her phone and sees it's 3 a.m. She had been sleeping for a few hours. The train starts to move very fast. Panicked, Misumi approaches the strange woman and tries to wake her, but she doesn't respond. She looks for a conductor or anyone else in the carriage, but no one is there. The train keeps accelerating. Misumi then tries to call for help, but there's no signal. Just as she's about to break down in tears, the train begins to slow down. The train approaches an unmanned station that looks very old and shady, with flickering lights and moss flying around it. Confused, Misumi decides to get off the train, hoping to find help or a bus back to the city. As the train stops and the doors open, the strange woman suddenly springs into action, lunging towards Misumi with a frantic expression and a haunting wail. Her clothes are covered in dirt, her hair is disheveled, and a deep scar runs across her face. Her eyes were bloodshot. Misumi, terrified, sprints out of the train. The doors slam shut behind her, her heart pounding with fear. She can't make sense of what just happened. The station was eerily silent, covered in thick, swirling fog. The cold night air was bone-chilling, making Misumi shiver as she stood all alone. Her breath came out in white puffs, adding to the chilling atmosphere. Across the tracks, a dark, dense forest stretched out, hauntingly still. There wasn't a single sound from crickets, insects, birds, or animals. The trees and bushes remained completely still, despite the biting wind. Misumi checked her phone, relief washing over her when she saw that the signal was back. Desperately, with trembling fingers, she called her sister, Yume, and told her everything that had happened. This is the conversation between Misumi and her sister.
Wait, so you're saying you ended up at a station in the middle of nowhere while on the subway? That's impossible. Subway lines don't go that far.
Do you think I don't know that? You have to help me. I'm all alone here and it's freaking me out.
Okay, calm down. Take a deep breath and tell me the name of the station. I'll look it up and come get you.
All right, there's a sign that says Guiying Station.
All right, let me check. Are you sure that's the name?
Yes, it says Guiying Station. Why?
It says here that there is no such station.
What? What do you mean there's no such station?
Don't panic. It might not be on the map. I'll look into it more. In the meantime, try to find a cab or someone who can help you. And stay on the line, okay?
Okay, I'll do that. There's no one here. The road is deserted and it's so dark outside that I can't see without my flashlight.
Okay, stay calm. Go back to the platform. Do you see any landmarks or signs around you?
I don't know. It's hard to see because of the fog. There's a forest across the tracks. I remember the train passing over a bridge and there was a river beneath it.
All right, that's helpful. Stay where you are. I'm working on this. Just hold on.
Did you find anything?
I found a few stations around the central mountain range, but there's no record of a Guiying station anywhere. And the train you took from Nanjing Fuqing terminated hours ago at Taipei Nangang Exhibition Center. It's like the place you're describing doesn't exist.
That can't be right. I'm telling you, I'm standing here.
I know, but there must be some explanation. You probably got on the wrong train or something.
No, it's the same train I've been taking for the past 2 years.
Okay, I'm going to call the police. They'll know how to find you. Just stay where you are and I'll call you back soon.
Okay, but hurry, this place is getting weirder.
They didn't believe me.
What?
The police thought I was making it up or playing a prank. They laughed and hung up on me.
Oh my God, how do I get out of here? I don't want to die here.
Listen to me, you're not going to die. I've told Mom and Dad and we're going to find you. Just hang in.
Before Misumi could respond, her phone died. Now completely cut off from help, her only options were to wait for the next train or to search for someone once the sun came up. As she sat on a bench trembling with fear and anxiety, she heard a strange sound coming from the forest. It sounded like a group of people chanting in a language she couldn't comprehend. A sudden wave of dread washed over her. She considered staying put, but she knew she had to act if she wanted to escape this place. With a deep breath, she stood up and cautiously approached the source of the sound, hoping to find someone who could help her. As she came close to the tracks, she saw a figure in the distance through the fog and darkness. The figure had their hand raised and was waving at her. She turned around to confirm the figure was indeed waving at her. The fog and darkness made it hard to see clearly. She moved closer to the tracks for a better look, her heart pounding with hope.
It's Yume, she found me?
Misumi thought, feeling a rush of relief. As she took a step forward, she heard the deafening roar of a train speeding towards her. The headlights cut through the fog, blinding her. Before she could react, the train struck her. Misumi jolted awake, drenched in sweat and breathing heavily. "It was just a dream," she whispered, trying to steady her breath. She looked outside and saw the train emerging from a bridge, beneath which flows a river. The area surrounded by trees and dense forest. She checked her phone. The time was 3 a.m. There was no signal, and the train started to speed up.